to welcome to Nobody's Listening. Welcome to the program. This is Nobody's Listening.
You almost did it.
This is Nobody's Listening.
You almost got it.
I nailed it. This is Nobody.
You nailed it?
Yeah, this is Nobody's Listening podcast. Subscribe to us, even if you are pretty much positive by this first couple of seconds of us that you aren't going to enjoy the podcast.
Literally that level of minor bickering. You're like, I can't handle this. I already have so much stress. I can't. I'm waiting. I'm trying to see if I'm going to get 200 or 600 from the government.
Yeah.
I'm waiting from this to come. Like, I understand.
I get it. If you don't want more bickering and pettiness in your life, still subscribe though. Still subscribe.
Still do it.
And not only subscribe, still put yourself through the agony of watching us.
That's a good way of putting it. I mean, listen, people need an outlet right now. The streets are hot. Joe. I don't know if you're paying attention. It is hot out there. Lots going on downtown. Have you seen that? Have you seen a lot more protests, in solidarity with Portland? Those people are fucking throwing bricks through windows down at government buildings. God knows what's going to happen there. We called it though. There is going to be the war. So we'll see how that goes down.
Dude, okay, here's the thing. And this sucks. It sucks not to be too serious, but we definitely we fell for the bait of them opening up brunch spots and gyms. And then we stopped protesting, and then they pulled it back. It was like the fucking bait and switch.
They nailed it.
They got us.
They nailed
dude.
it.
They killed. Then they were like, "Oh, it turns out coronavirus." And it was like, "You sons of bitches!" No,
I told you. Were you going to be part of the infantry, or were you going to stay back and let it, And look what happened. What are you going to do? People got to get out there and go to IHOP. I get it.
Wait, but downtown? Is it mayhem in downtown DTLA?
It seemed like it was mayhem. Now listen, it's not nearly as bad as Portland, where anyone paying attention to that shit show. Jesus, it's not nearly as bad as that. Like Portland, the actual feds are in there, but it's looking like the feds are going to come to LA anytime soon. But listen, if you want to go down there and if a bunch of feds want to go fight with Antifa people who also work at Starbucks, they can do that. I'm gonna see how it plays out.
Is the faction of people that are in downtown LA? What's happening? Are they violent or what's their deal?
No, I don't think they're violent, but you know how it's going.
You just said they threw a brick through a window.
That's not violent. That's just fucking. No, dude, they didn't hit a person with it.
Okay, all right, there you go.
Speaking of violence, though, shootings are going up in LA. People talk about how New York's kind of sprawling right now. LA, it's getting weird here. It's like they're certainly looking for new levels of bullshit, like one would assume. Did I tell you I got a $23 parking ticket for not turning my wheels on the street?
Okay,
and it was one of those things that you see it and you're just like. It's like, oh, I guess you can do that. I guess that's a thing. I thought we had an agreement, us and the parking people. I went down there. I gave you $88 of my fucking money to get a parking permit. 3. I got 3 of them. Okay. You want to come at me with some bullshit like this because I didn't have my turn? That means they're desperate. That's all I'm saying is they're desperate.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you this though, because I'm your friend and I want to be on your side. I feel like we want to be on each other's side usually, and we don't always end up that way, but.
Yeah. Well, I trust that you'll tell me the truth.
All right.
It's the more important factor.
Let me ask you, man. Were you parked on the hill?
Of course I was. That's why they gave me the ticket. But I thought they would be fucking cool about it. No, it was Olive.
Yeah.
Olive going up. I won't give my address. You fucking get it.
Yeah.
I'm on Olive. I was on a hill. It's a new thing for me. I'm not used to parking on the hill. I didn't fucking turn my tires the one time. I usually do. I didn't fucking turn it this one time because I saw these 2 frat bros. One of them threw a glass bottle. So I got distracted and I didn't fucking turn it. And then they come at me with this bullshit $23.
Yeah, you gotta. Are you still? Because I feel like there's the moments when you get a bad. It's like the dent, right? When you get a dent, that's a real. I mean, you're all right. You're all right. This dent won't take. It's $23. Whatever.
No, it's not. No, it's not the principle. It's the. We had a good thing going, dude. I walked down there. I went to the. We gave them the $88 check.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers made me mail it in, dude. You ever feel like this is the most millennial thought ever, for sure. But to get a parking pass from West Hollywood, they had me mail in a check. and it had to like go to this specific department, and there was no like online form. I had to like print out a piece of paper, fill it out, and then mail it with a physical check to their office, and it took 4 weeks to get a parking permit. And I just thought the whole time, I was like, I hope this building gets broken into during unrest. Like, I hope their government office gets broken into for forcing me to write a check and fucking almost fax over a paper.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I can't.
Well, let
it burn, dude. Listen, I thought I was a Law and Order person, but let it fucking burn. You gonna come at me with a check? You gonna make me go get a check and go to the fucking post office? No, dude. And then come at me with this turn in my way. Listen, I'm not used to parking on the hill.
Yeah,
I don't even know what is that for, dude. I'm stupid. Tell me what that's for. Because by my logic, if your brake goes out, that just means you're gonna fucking turn into the road and then just go down the hill and like fucking crash into a bus or something.
No, dude, you're not gonna. It's so when you do slide back, your tires hit the curb.
What the fuck is that? Dude, if they're turned, your wheels are going to back in the event that your emergency brake goes out.
Hey, man, you need to take this shit to court, dude. Represent yourself and don't talk. I ain't no LA judge, man. You got to go to the West Hollywood judge and plead your case, man.
Oh, I know, man. Well,
you got to save that $23, dude.
Listen, I have the time. I would love to get wrapped up in some bullshit like this. Dude, I grilled chili today. Like, that's like, what stage of depression is that? Like, do you know what grilling chili?
I don't think you told me this. I don't think grilling chili. I think you're just exploring new interests, man. You're exploring your culinary interests.
Listen,
you can't look at it as a manifestation of depression because you like to smoke chili. I was proud of you.
It certainly felt.
I was like, you're doing a cool thing. My buddy's smoking some chili. That's my guy.
Grilling, smoking some chili is literally like. I mean, in terms of depression, I feel like it falls somewhere between like partial custody dad who has more free time now and like out of work professional bowler who hasn't bought the gun yet. You know what I mean? Like, that's where smoking chili lines up in like the cosmic. Grid of that.
Yeah, it does.
It felt
but
sad.
You have no. Really? You gotta. I feel like it's.
I just sat there. I was like, "What am I doing?" Like, you know why it felt dumb, dude?
Why?
Is because it's like, because like grilling, like people like to make fun of like, oh, like you grill all the time. It's the ultimate dad move. Whatever. Then so be it. We live in 2020 where you have to defend the things you enjoy every single day. Whatever.
You don't though. Why do you feel the need to explain the things you like?
I was making a joke.
Okay, I feel like you're serious though.
No,
I feel like you're ashamed of smoking chili, which I think is actually kind of cool.
No, I am ashamed of smoking the chili, and I'll tell you why. This is exactly why. Because like when you grill meat, it's like one thing. You put it on, like you actually put it on the grate. I just put the pot of chili on the grill, and then I was literally standing there, and I was just like, this is literally the level of excitement it brought. I was like, oh, I bet it's gonna taste extra smoky. And that was it. And then I was like, oh, that's why I spent all this time doing this?
I did think that was weird when you were like, I was smoking chili. And then I was like, does it taste? Because it's still in the. It
tasted good.
The pot.
I left the lid off, I get all the,
the smoke came
carbon dioxide, whatever the, yeah.
Little bit of sooty chili, dude. A little bit of
little ashy chili,
dude.
Up in that
Okay,
bitch, dude.
Was it good though?
My chili's ashy as shit. Yeah, it was great,
dude.
It was great.
See, you had a nice meal. You fed your wife. You guys probably you were outside grilling, man. Don't you do things that you like and then you feel bad about them. You feel like, oh, look at me enjoying myself in my backyard I have. How depressed am I? You're not depressed.
I shouldn't enjoy it. Like the world is fucked and I'm out here smoking chili.
Yeah, man.
Like, god damn it, dude. Like, I was telling you about this. Maybe this is a stupid thought. Maybe it's not. Sometimes I don't believe in a higher power, but I kind of am starting to think that like, the reaction to COVID, not that it happened or whatever, it's just, we're like, America is being punished for the level of excess we've gotten to. Dude, there was a fucking cupcake vending machine in Los Angeles like 7 months ago.
Okay.
You mean to tell me that like we needed to be brought down a peg? You know what I'm saying? Like it's too much. We can't It's too much. I saw tonight, I got on Twitter, dude, a fucking Ferrari crashed into a hobo's RV and by Venice Beach. There were photos of it. Like, could it be explained any better than with that photo? You know? Like,
You got to drill in more. You got to drill in more because I want to get on the same page. I kind of understand, but I kind of don't. I have a thing.
I'm speaking at like 30,000 feet right now.
It's very 30,000 feet. I feel like you're being very vague. I'll take it in a direction if you're down. I have a.
It just seems like it's like it's gonna take forever for us to get out of this, and it's just like I think we needed to be reset.
We needed a speed bump. We needed a speed bump.
Yes. It was too much. It was too much. Cupcake vending machines, Deadliest Catch,
Yeah. No,
KFC famous bowls. Like, I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
TikTok stars have, 7-figure homes and hill. Like, listen, that's making money. It's a new world. I get that. But, like, God, you think sometimes we got to be knocked the fuck back for a second, right?
I agree with that. I think where I see this most to kind of like derail a little bit off of like what we're at currently. But one thing I really don't, this is cold brew coffee. Okay. It's hot. it's like popping right now. I don't want to say it's hot.
So hot.
But it's like,
it's hot as hell, dude.
People love cold brew coffee. Guy, I hate cold brew coffee. I also remember there was like and I feel like there was an age where like, I think we're kind of over it, but like every beer had to have like the most alcohol you could possibly put in it.
Oh yeah. Dude, when you hear like two bros being like, oh, what are you drinking? He's like, oh, this is like 9.8%.
Yeah, dude.
Like, okay.
And like,
okay.
Every edible had to be like...
It's a coconut porter. Like...
Yeah. And it had to have like... It's like I had a donut flavored porter one time. I had a donut. It was like Rogue Brewery.
What are we doing? That's what I'm saying. Dude, we ruin everything by taking it to like the 10th degree. You know what I mean?
We do.
Maybe that's like... I feel like that's an American thing. Anything... Can't just be... You can't just enjoy beer. Like someone had to make a donut fucking beer. Some dude
that's like,
with like 6 fucking dogs... And some guy started some weird brewery with his dad's money. He's like, dude, what if we put a donut in the beer? Like, come on, man. Like, wait. And I've been that guy. I've been that guy who had it. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And now I'm like, I'll take Lady Blythe at this point. Just numb the dullness. I don't care.
And this is, you can see it here. God, that glare there is horrible.
There are too many breweries now. I think we're on the decline of breweries. I think they're going away.
You think we hit the bubble?
God. There were just... Yeah, there was like... Everyone's passion project became... like starting a brewery.
Yeah.
Okay? And then I realized this, man. Breweries make beer. We made all the beer, okay? Any type of beer you can make. We started making sours, which aren't even beer, dude. It's like Sour Patch Kid juice, carbonated Sour Patch Kid juice. And I'm like, okay, y'all not even making beer now. You know what I mean? You're making like fruit juice with alcohol. And then we made kombuchas.
Maybe is what we're calling it. Basically hard kombucha. We have Steve.
Then we made like seltzers. To me, I'm just like, I realized we reached the end of the road. Like
there's only like 6 drinks. You know what I mean? Like all of them have alcohol in it now. I mean, what the fuck else is there left, you know?
They're one thing. It's like, oh, this is our double IPA. Oh, this is our session pale ale. And you're like, these beers taste the same. This is the same beer, you know? And you're like, no, but you're gonna tell us this one's. Oh, and I'm gonna throw out this name, Josh Adams. He listens to the podcast. He's gonna.
What's up, dude?
He's gonna hate this segment, but it's this. And I'm talking about this beer. I actually really do like this beer from Rheingeist where he works called Peach Dodo. All right, and. He was telling, something he said on Facebook, he said, oh yeah, it's a great beer to be like hanging out on, it's perfect for hanging out on the lake on like a summer day. The perfect situation. And I love the guy, but when he said that, I was like, what type of situation would it not be perfect for?
Well,
you know, and he was like, he gave me a great response. He's just like, hey, you got me there.
I'll go to bat for him for a little bit. They're just selling it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't be good for smoking cigarettes and like bowling, you know, with like some Korean War veterans. Well, that wouldn't be appropriate at all. If you brought out a Peach Dodo. you get called a slur from a
You
guy
should
who
be
saw
on their
combat,
marketing
dude.
department.
Like, no fucking way. So yeah, there is appropriate times for like a peach dodo, you know? And those times are going to a mega church. But like either way, what I'm saying though is that like you're right. Like I don't know. I'm drinking like some IPA thing now. You know what I've gotten to, dude, is like I don't give a shit what the brand is anymore. Like I'll drink like a craft beer to like get fucked up, you know? But like I don't know. I got Modelo or like High Life. We had this conversation when we ranked, you know, people's personal traits with what beer they drink. But you're right, dude. Every fucking, it's like, I don't know, like everything's like a marketing war now to just like market to people's nostalgia, you know? So it's like, oh, we make, you know, this is a Jolly Rancher seltzer that can get you fucked up. It's like, oh, great. I want to be drunk and think about my childhood. I don't know what that says about you, but that's where you're at.
We have another slushy beer, or not beer.
This is the Sonic the Hedgehog Knuckles blonde ale. Yeah. And then all of a sudden people are like, what is it? It's a fucking beer. It got nothing to do with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hey guys, we're putting out our Donkey Kong Porter this week, and 50% of the proceeds go to the wildfire, you know, protection project in the Amazon. No, dude.
Okay. No.
Things are taken to excess. That's what I've been saying. That was what I was saying earlier. Everything, nothing is like enjoyed anymore. It's just everything just raised the bar. You know, like say what you will about, you know, Europe. You know, they pros and cons, right? You know, us like kicking their ass, and then them, you know, kind of having a better overall life. But what I'm saying is, like, they don't have like beer like that, you know what I mean? They drink the beer that they've been drinking, and that's neither good nor bad, but it just shows you the difference in two mindsets. We're like, no, we're getting the fucking Donkey Kong stout, aged in goddamn eucalyptus barrels.
They have a little more appreciation of history. I think that may have something to do with it. And they're not as like entrepreneurial, you know? And they're not as like, I feel like the American dream is way more like start your own brewery. I think that is the new American dream.
You think they respect history more? Is that what you're saying?
I think they're just like, oh, let Paul Anner, let Hopra, and let, you know, Bex, let them do what they do. Like, they got beer under control.
Yeah, they know what's up.
We don't need to, you know, like, we'll start a new drink. Don't do something new. But like beer, we've been doing beer for years, and these people. But okay, I want to go back to what you were saying about like beer breweries have become marketing companies.
Oh,
and this is what I've noticed. Dude. Everything and like, okay, so we hung out one time at a place where there were literally 3 breweries within walking distance from each other in like a dumpy ass part of town. And I thought about this. I follow one of them on Facebook. These places, they become like art companies where really all they have is they're just decorating new cans with like new designs. Like, oh, this is like the gay pride beer. Yeah. And like, oh, this is like the
Fiona. This is like the Fiona the Hippo beer. And then we got
Fiona the Hippo beer. Now it's rest in peace Harambe beer, dude. It was like it's like it doesn't even matter what the beer tastes like. It's so irrelevant. But this is like, oh, this is the Harambe, you know, this is the Harambe double IPA or like APA, you know, it's just some weird. Well, like, it becomes a thing where it's like it's a cool ass can, and I'm realizing I'm like, it's not about the beer anymore. It's about the can. It literally is about the can because it's beer. It's beer. It's not gonna taste bad. It's like from a brewery. They made it to taste good. They've made a lot of beers that taste good. They're gonna use some variation of a beer that tastes good. Just make this one taste slightly different and give it a cool can that's gonna make you want to buy it.
Dude, it's not like the ultimate example of this is. Do you ever see? There's one of these like dumbass like big breweries breweries are starting to make like craft versions of like pilsners, like Bud Light, and then they sell it to you for $10 a 6-pack for some Bud Light.
That's what I won't do.
And you get it because it's like, oh, this one's called Lawnmower Ale, and it's like a little cool it's like, oh, wait, dude, if I drink this beer, that means I'm a hard worker, dude. If I'm a hard worker, that means my dad will like respect me. So like that's what a working man drinks is dude. If I saw a guy with that who had like the craft pilsners in his fridge, I'd be like, where are the guns? Tell me where the guns are. You're unstable.
Hey, Joey. What's the matter, man? Parents are getting a divorce. It's tough.
It is tough.
Well, I think he's trying to double dip because he's trying to be the working man, but he's also trying to be the craft brew dude. You know what I mean?
That's literally failing at both routes.
It is, but also, dude, anyone that's like, okay, so my what's my beer choice, guy? What is my beer?
You? Natty Light.
Yes. You know why? Because it tastes like bread and it has 2.7 carbs.
Liquid pork chop, dude.
And I like the taste of pork chop bread.
Dude, me too.
That's what I want to drink.
Like High Life, dude. That's like a potato.
Yeah.
It's just a potato in beer. I don't know how it works. I just drink a potato. And then I fight.
And you know what?
I don't know. That's what potato water does to me.
I fall asleep. Well, and another thing is, like, I don't like every craft beer place. I used to go when I lived in Cincinnati. I would drink just like these thick ass IPAs all the time, and then I would go the following day. I would just have liquid shit for 3 days, and that was just my life. It wasn't even like, oh man, this is like. Oh man, I got I had a little too much. Be like, no, dude, I had like 3 or 4 beers, and then I just like lose control of my bowels.
Yeah, just literally.
I'm like incontinent for 4 days, and I'm like, what am I? I don't think the human body is meant to drink all these
it's
like.
Not.
This
like
concentrated bread water.
This Cocoa Puff Stout, you think that your like stomach and literally, hundreds and thousands of years of human evolution, and all of a sudden we're gonna throw a goddamn Lucky Charms Pale Ale into the mix? Like, no wonder we're dying of diseases, dude. It's like we brought this on ourselves.
You taste that? You taste it?
I have a fucking major update on something. I went to go hike Runyon Canyon the other day, and I'm going up there. I got my mask on. I'm out doing my shit, right? I'm walking up the hill, and there's a guy sitting right at the below. And if anyone who listens to this is in LA, please go to Runyon and verify this with me. There was a dude sitting at the bottom of the hill who had a little piece of like whiteboard out, like a protest sign, whatever. And it said, "Our bodies are being hacked. Talk to me to learn more." It was that fucking guy, dude. The dude who left the note on my car about how our bodies are being hacked by the government. He's hanging out at Runyon Canyon at the foot of it. That's him, dude.
I have no time. I have no time for any. I am so done with conspiracy theories.
No, dude, I don't care what he has to fucking say. That's not the point. The dude's real. I just saw him like randomly in my life.
I know he's real.
Dude, I thought he was just an idea. I thought he was just 4chan. Like that's what I didn't know that he was an actual breathing person. And then I go on the hill and I see him down there. He's like, "Our bodies are being hacked." And I wanted so bad to talk to him, but I was too afraid because like everyone would judge me, and I don't have enough confidence to do that. And then I went back to hike the next day. Also out there again, same sign. Our bodies are being hacked. Talk to me to learn more. So,
okay, well, let me ask you, why would you? Because when I see a guy like that, I'm like, I will avoid him at all costs because I suffer no fools anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just too old to like hear anyone out that just is mentally ill.
Yeah.
Like, I don't got the patience, dude. And maybe that makes me a bad person, but I'm just like, hey, man, I'm 31, and I don't talk to guys like you anymore. I'm closed-minded, you know? I'm sorry. Listen. I don't, like... I can't even be. I got nothing for you, dude. I'm not like. Hey, I'm not gonna like.
No, respect. I get it. I wouldn't open myself. Listen, I'm so starved for like interaction at this point. I'm like, yeah, let's have a conversation. I was just embarrassed to do it in front of other people. I wanted to go up to him and be like, hey, man, can you meet me at the Coffee Bean in like 20 minutes? Like, let's not do this here with these clowns. Like, I'll hear you out. I've said this to you before. I will hear people out. I have time. I'm not going to act like I'm better than that. I'm not.
No.
I'll hear people out.
No.
But he's out there in the wild, dude. And if anyone listening to this podcast is in LA, I swear to God, please go there, risk your life hiking at Runyon Canyon, and then see this dude. And if you see him, tell him that I want to talk to him, or you talk to him. Someone's got to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
He's clearly very committed to his message. Should I be concerned that he left a note on my car and then he was also... I guess it's not like my hiking spot, of course, but I can't seem to escape this fella. And I knew it was him. It was like a Mexican guy standing there. He had like this definitely like a Che Guevara type T-shirt on, which is like, you know, slight red flag. You know.
That's what dude.
The Che Guevara T-shirt.
Red flag, dude. I just can't.
Well, of course he's a red flag, but you act like you're better than a red flag. Come on, bro. You know, you ain't.
I am. I think I am.
Ain't.
When people, because I just see a man, I just see someone that's like, I just can't do it, man. I just can't, like, it's the same thing with like religious people, man. Like, anytime anyone tries to tell me about like the love of whatever God, I'm like, nope, already heard. Yeah. Already, nope, done. Already, like, I already, like, went through the whole chain. I'm like, oh, I've already, like, beat this level of life where I believe in bullshit. Like, I'm already past that. I have succumbed to the fact that nothing is to be known, and I will never know anything about the universe, and that's fine.
Before, there was nothing after, and this is where it ends. But yes. I can't talk to you. I'm trying to go inside Kroger right now. You know,
dude. I'm trying to get my Cocoa Puff IPA.
I'm trying to son of a bitch. Get the fuck out of my way. I got this limited edition Frost Flakes cream ale, so I can go fucking post about it on Facebook. Dude, the cream ale is like, God, Jesus, dude. I sound like such a bitch saying this, but like, dude, a cream ale is like, oh, what does that mean? Oh, what, they put like milk in it? What's that?
It's always good though, dude. Cream ales are actually pretty lit.
I'm not into that. I don't want to feel. I don't want frothy shit inside my body. I want to feel like I drank. The only good cream ale is a Barks Red Cream Soda. That's where I stand on that.
Oh yeah.
That's the only cream I want in a drink. Other than that, in coffee. I'm not trying to have a cream alcohol. If I was, dude, you come over one day and I just got like a fucking 12 rack of Mickey's Wide Mouth in my fridge. I'm like, yo, dude, I got these, man. You trying to throw down?
Yeah,
trying to go listen to the fucking Reds game and throw rocks at a train or something?
That would be, I would do
sounds like fun.
I would support, like, I think that, and I don't want to bring it back to beer, but yeah, we can't bring it back to beer because this is, but yeah, I can't do it, man. I won't. Anyone outside of a Kroger trying to get my attention. Also, like, I felt bad. There was this guy, I was in Ventura, and he tried to get me to sign a petition to help him, like, sell weed, grow. Yeah. He's a farmer. He was like he was like an old man farmer, right? So he was like a legit, when I looked at him, I'm like, dude, this guy farms. Yeah. And he was like, will you sign this petition? Like, will you sign this petition to, like, help farmers grow hemp or marijuana? And I was like, no. I was like, I support you almost to the point where I'm gonna like give you some time, but like, no. Like, I was like, keep doing what you're doing, but like, I know once you sign, because here's the thing, man, once you sign one of those petitions,
it's game over.
You give a mouse a cracker, dude. You give a mouse a cracker, you give a mountain a molehill.
So many emails.
Dude, they take.
You're more optimistic than me.
They take.
You're more optimistic than me. If I saw some farm, that dude wasn't a farmer. He was an actor that the fucking guys from MedBen hired to go out there to like get people to sign off on some like land treaty to like get tax breaks on their weed opera. A fucking $1 billion company. They're like, get some Sam Elliott wannabe on like LA Craigslist actors to go out there and be like, no, but I'm just trying to grow cannabis on my dude. Fucking Montel Williams has a weed company now. Like, it's who needs more permission? Like, anyone can have a weed brand now. It's craziness.
Okay, which gold rush has dried up more? The breweries.
Oh, dude,
the breweries.
The weed thing is just getting started. It's just getting started.
You think so?
That's like the whole thing, dude. Growing your own weed is going to be what home brewing was like 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah,
that's what it's going to be.
Sure.
It's going to be that for sure. Some dudes out there, like two dudes are in a driveway comparing like buds to each other. Like, this one's got more trichomes and it's like for more mellow.
Oh, yeah.
More like a mellow high. And the other guy's like, hey, my wife's leaving me. And he's like, oh, dude, well. You should take some of this. Check out this candy Kool-Aid, dude. It's like dank as shit, bro.
Dude, it's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same culture, just like manifested in different ways. Because I feel like I actually think there is probably a tension between like brewery dudes and dispensary dudes.
Oh yeah, well, dude, dispensary dudes are like DJs. They just like that's the day job, you know what I mean? But you think there's like, well, where they don't really like they don't like cross paths a whole lot. I feel like You know, maybe.
Yeah, but they don't. But I feel like they're both the same. They're both the same guy.
Who's in like you know who's a good reference for this? Someone in Colorado. Someone like Christian he might know this. You know, like what in a city like Denver where there's so much weed and there's so much beer. Are they like is it like West Side Story? Like, you know, are they sharks? Are there, you know, like it?
There might be two factions.
That's what I'm saying,
There might be two factions of people with vices.
Is it like La Costa Nostra? Like, what are there like actual, you know, families of it? I don't know.
I bet everybody's just getting twisted and faded, dude. I don't think there is. I think everybody's like chiefing and then like
getting
boozing.
Just drunk or stoned.
Yeah, dude.
That's what I mean, hey.
I think everybody's getting sloppy and getting like just getting barbecued. I don't think there's anyone that's like, I think most people are just there in Denver to indulge and not judge other people. I'm assuming, but we'll ask Christian.
If he hears this,
fan of the
I want to know.
Our fan of the year.
I want to know what the street situation is. I want to know how these two groups interact. But hey, dude, listen, if you're gonna ride out the COVID times, I guess go someplace and get drunk and stoned all the time. Maybe that's why all the like celebs are all moving to, like, you mentioned someone was talking about moving to Colorado, you know? Everybody's moving, which, by the way, I guess, you know, everybody is leaving LA. You know, we talked about it, leaving LA. Like, what is it? Is it a viable career option? Is it like pulling the trigger too early? You know, and I don't know. I've thought about it, and, you know, I hate to like say this here, but, you know, me and my girlfriend, we have made the decision that, you know, as much as I do like living in the city of LA, I am going to move to Malibu. And I just feel like it's the best thing for my family. And that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah. You know, I just hope people respect that.
Yeah, I just think that's the best decision for you, man. Yeah. And I'm honestly proud of you.
Well, you know, I was just looking out, you know, there's a lot of deals to be had. I got a house because, you know, the CEO of TikTok killed himself. So I was able to get that property dirt cheap, you know, and when you...
I mean, that's a blessing, man. That's God. That's God's work.
Yeah.
That's God's plan.
Yeah, the guy who made the K-Cups offed himself, so I got his guest house. Listen, it's a complicated world. You know, you got to make your deals when you can.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. I'm actually, Zach's joking, by the way. He's staying right here in LA proper, and
I am moving
just
now.
Eating. No, and he's just he's gonna eat shitty meat until coronavirus has eaten everyone alive.
Until it eats me, dude.
All that's left is. I feel like I'm one of the last ones. You know, I feel like I have a terrible immune system. I get sick constantly, but I still have faith in my body to like be able to endure the virus.
Well, let me ask you this. Here's a little bit of topical news for you. You know, it came out today. First round of vaccine testing is happening. You know, the U.S. government's put like $1 billion into like fast tracking a vaccine. So now we're in the first round of testing, and 30,000 psychopaths have like signed up to do this test. And, you know, listen, they're kind of like American heroes. They're going on the front lines, checking this shit out, seeing if it actually works. On the other hand,
oh, you're about to diss the guinea pig.
I don't know, dude. I don't know if I would do it.
Piggies,
I don't know if I would do it. That's all I'm saying. Listen, dude, I ain't one of these like anti-maskers, but bro, I don't know if I would line up for that shit. Fuck that. They're rushing the shit out of that vaccine so he can get it done. It's a clock before like the election. If he could get a vaccine before then maybe that'll salvage like his whole thing, you know? But fuck that, dude. I don't know if I would be on the front line of that, but I was reading this AP News article about it, though. It actually made me sad because the people talking about it, of course, you know, they interview like 3 of the best stories that they could find, right? But like people who are like, you know, my family's and members of my family are like first responders and like medical people, so I want to do all I can, and I'm like, I respect that. And then some people are just, all they do is watch Nick at Night, and they're like, I'm ready to die, so they're like, I'll try this vaccine, and go for it. I don't know where I stand.
God bless them, dude. God bless them.
Hey, dude, respect.
That's a very self-aware person. That's like, this could be my contribution to humanity. Because I'm just gonna sit here and watch old reruns of Cheers. Yeah.
What do I got to lose?
You know what?
You know?
Pump that shit in my veins, dude. Let's see what happens.
Pump that shit up, nurse. You know? Pump it into me. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the side effects are. I don't think anyone actually does. Who the fuck knows what's in it? They just mix that shit with, Just mix some like toilet bowl cleaner with like Coke Zero. Just like, here you go. Here you go, you fucking fat pigs. Line up. Let's try this shit.
Toilet bowl cleaner, Coke Zero, and a dash of ketamine.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, all right.
And they'll legalize this, and they're like, still weed's illegal. They're like, no, you're gonna get this little ketamine.
That's what
mixer.
it'll be. It'll just be like a recreational drug. It'll be like, hey, it didn't work as a vaccine, but it will get you fucked up with
Turns
the
out
calories.
it was just as good as like scissor. So, you know, was it a waste? I don't know. Did 80% of the people tested die within a month? Yeah, but listen, this drug's fucking sick as hell, man.
I need a clarification. Did you say it's just as good as scissor or just as good as scissoring?
Scissor. You know, like grape soda mixed with like cough medicine and shit.
Yeah, dude, some dirty Sprite. Man, some lean.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
lean is the correct term.
I thought you were saying scissoring. You're like, turns out it's as good as scissoring.
It might be as good as
it's
scissoring.
completely different.
It might be. I don't know. Maybe this is just like more bullshit. Maybe this is just inventing some new drug. The government invents a new drug to like put into like the most susceptible class of people. I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
No one actually knows.
I think they should. How many people do you think? Okay. So, how many people do you think, if they had this clinical trial, I'm sure they're incentivizing them some way other than just like saving humanity. How many people do you think would come out of the woodwork to be a part of this study if they promised them like 3 bottles of like
Mountain Dew.
promethazine?
Dude, it would be unparalleled. Like they couldn't test enough people. Like it would be. Well, here's the thing: they need to test for this to be effective. I was reading they have to test basically 30,000 people a month. So at a certain point, they're gonna run out. Like between the anti-vaxxers and people who can't be bothered to deal with this, they're gonna get to a point. They're gonna be like, all right, listen, guys, we'll let you test this and fentanyl. We'll loop in. We'll let you have a little bit of both. Please come in. Our nation's crumbling. There's no economy. We need to do something. Just take heroin. I don't care. Whatever. Just try this one too, please. I don't know.
There we go.
Let's see what level of desperation this takes us to.
Yeah, dude, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong, man. I don't think we want to see the test subjects. I think we're going to be like, ooh. Yeah. It makes sense now.
Yeah, they're gonna find out. They're like, hey, turns out fentanyl actually kills coronavirus. It's the only known cure. I don't know what to do about it. Like Dr. Fauci's like on a podium. He's like, it's fentanyl is the answer. I don't want to say this. It turned out to be the answer. It kills everything in its track. We don't know what to do. Kristen Bell, Dax Shepard moved to like North Bergen, New Jersey. Like this is the safest place. I don't know.
Oh, it got much worse when we stopped recording.
We stopped recording and
so subscribe and still hit the notification bell, like the thing, comment, all that stuff. All that YouTube stuff, but we actually need it. So please do it now.
Please do. You need to get that update about like ranking LaCroix flavors.
You do.
Which side note, I want to note something on there. I there were a lot of takes on that. There were a lot of takes on the LaCroix flavor rankings. I saw that some people were upset about mango being pretty low, right?
Yeah, we definitely had some we had a lot of angry face emojis.
People were upset about that. And listen, I did go as far to say, if you rank Barry in the top 3, you are a member of Antifa. I stand by that. But other people, I guess, like Barry.
And a lot of people like Antifa, so listen, not necessarily an insult, man.
Hey, there's enough for everybody.
All right, so let's talk about guilt, like TV shows and any like piece of art that's like your guilty pleasure, like what you like, like what you like, dude, and that you stand by, but you get clowned mercilessly for liking,
Dude, honestly, like when you introed this segment, it made me this game would be like the reverse for me. I would have to pick out the innocent pleasures because 98% of it is guilty pleasure in my current like COVID quarantine life. I mean, I don't actually watch or listen to anything with merit anymore.
Okay, wait. So what this is something you stand by as a valid piece of art. So not something that you watch and you like know it's bad for you, but it's something that's like, I really enjoy this, and I think it's like, I don't think it's trash. everyone thinks it's trash, but I think it's good, you know? Like, I like this, and I lose all credibility with my taste in anything when I tell people I like this.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have yours? Because I'm ready.
Dude. Yeah. You know, one could be, you know, I'll stand by the band Fun.
Oh,
You know,
Fun is awesome.
That's certainly.
Both
But dude,
albums,
it's kind of lame as hell. Yeah, they are good, dude, but it's kind of lame as hell to tell people that you think it's good. You know, especially when it was like peak popping. What was it? Some nights.
Yeah.
When that was like when that was peaking, you know, maybe that's too much anxiety in my head, but I was like, I can't tell anybody I'm into this band. Like I'll lose all.
Well, okay.
Maybe I just thought it was too cool. I don't know. That's all a guilty pleasure is people thinking they're too cool for something.
That's really what it is. I mean, okay, so Fun, the thing about Fun was their first album, because they were a band called The Format, who I was a huge fan of. That guy's from a band called The Format, all right? Nathan Ruthfield or something like that. And I loved The Format. And then this dude in Atlanta showed me Fun period, their first album, and I was like, it was like The Format, because I loved The Format, and I listened to that album and I'm like, dude, Fun is better than The Format. That first album with Not Some Nights, but the one before that, dude, they are good, but that first album is even better than the one that fucking popped, dude, that exploded.
Yeah, it really did pop. That album was huge.
That one had,
for a very short period of time, it felt like, but I'd say summer, you know? How nostalgic is that? Thinking of listening to Fun, playing over the speakers at the mall. I'm standing outside trying to hawk phones to people with bad credit.
Oh yeah.
It is nostalgic for me.
Is that what?
You know?
Is that your? Actually,
that's how
That's where you were.
I remember standing outside. That's exactly where I was. I was standing outside the gates of a Radio Shack, looking into a Foot Locker, listening to, you know, Some Nights. What was the big song? I don't even remember. I'm bad at like song.
It was
title
Some
names.
Nights.
The main one about the dude who like fucking roughs up some chick at a bar, some bro. I don't know. It was very, actually, now looking back on it, it's a very like rapey song. I feel like there were a lot of gray area.
You know what's funny? That song I don't listen to. Like I never listened to it. Right?
Oh yeah. I mean,
I don't even know what it's about. Like, I know I know the hook, but that's all. But the other.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? That song on that album. So I liked the whole album, but like. What really brought me in, because I would listen to the alternative radio station out here in LA. This was like 7 or 8 years ago when I first moved out here. And it was like, dude, it was rough, dude. I would say the most interesting time of my life was that time, but it was only interesting because it was so shitty, dude. It was so bad.
Yeah.
But like, I remember coming up over that hill in like over from the valley in Burbank to LA, and Carry On was playing, and it really, dude, this is cheese dick cornball Fun on literally on the radio playing. It was a moment where, dude, your boy had to carry on.
You had to carry on, dude. You had to carry on, and you're like sitting in your car, like crying, like having this emotional moment, thinking about the journey you've made.
Yes.
And it's like a guy jerking off, like on the corner, and a pink van with like bottomless maids on the side of it, and you're like, this is where I came to be.
This is it. On Must I
So
Carry.
I'm setting up shop, my dude. You know,
I'm Angelino.
You said carry on, dude. And
Yeah.
that's when you started your highly successful bottomless maids company.
I did,
dude. It's because that song,
did.
dude. I respect that.
I insist that they play.
Well, let's move on from Fun. Let's move.
All right, that's a
we spent
segment,
about
dude.
3 minutes on
Fun
that.
is an entire segment, dude.
No.
Okay.
No one.
Fun rips though. Fun rips. Fun
does rip,
rips.
but there's so many other things now. No one cares about Fun anymore. They're gone.
Okay, I
know?
still love Fun. I still love Nathan Rutfield or whatever his name is. Listen to, okay, I have a rec for the listeners. Listen to The Format, Dog Problems. That's another depressed Joey song that I think people will like.
Give me another guilty pleasure.
Mine? Okay, so I have two.
Yeah.
One's a TV.
You had a show,
One's
right?
a TV show. One's a music.
What's your show?
My show is Weeds. Okay? I feel like
Yeah.
I get clowned so much for thinking that it was a good TV show. And granted, I did watch it when I was like younger and I didn't have as sophisticated douchey tastes. But
Yeah.
like, I I tell you, Guy, I was enthralled. Like that
By weeds?
show.
I've never seen it.
Dude, that show.
I know the premise.
Yeah, the whole way through watching that show, because a lot of people dropped off at different times. They dropped off when they were in Mexico. They dropped off like when they moved to see. And I for me, dude, I was there with Nancy the whole time. I didn't like most of the characters on that show, but I was there for it. And Guy, I like weeds, man. I think it was good. I stand by it, and I enjoyed it, and that's all I really want from entertainment.
That's, like I said, dude, we live in this constant age of paranoia now where you feel like you have to, like, defend all the things you enjoy. Like, we're to make a hot take, I enjoyed this show. I don't care what anyone thinks. I get it, though. All
right, well.
I'm trying to think what my show is. It's probably Degrassi. God, dude, I love Degrassi.
There you go.
That was a good show, dude. It was a good show. And it was, listen, was it weird, teenage, like, melodrama? Yeah. But it launched the career of Drake. He got shot and got put in a wheelchair and started some weird, horrendous rap story. Like, it was like he went to this Kid Elric concert. It was like their version of, like, I feel like Kid Rock or something like that.
No.
A real horrendous storyline changed. And then they were obviously building up to what, he would later go on to do. Maybe they wrote it in because he was interested in, making music. But boy, was it some corny shit for a while. God, was his music in Degrassi horrible. But it was a good show. I stand by it. A Canadian show. Took a few more risks than you might see in an American show. Okay. There's kids getting stabbed. There's girls getting abortions. There's like this chick gets gonorrhea from this guy at a party. Yeah, dude, it's insane. They were like hitting hard like in the early 2000s. G, like you talk about Paige out there, like having all these like she would have all this drama with God knows who. I don't remember the characters now. There was this kid JT who was like the whitest kid who could ever be fucking conceived by a studio. Mm-hmm. He straight up got stabbed outside of a party.
Yeah, dude, he died. All right. Dude, there you go. And he
stole
people
opiates from a pharmacy from some like weird old grandpa.
This is shit I can relate to, man. Abortions, opioid addiction, thefts,
school
shootings. Yeah.
They were like, listen, this is the life of a teenager nowadays.
Dude, that's what
we have to.
That's why I can't get into Euphoria because everyone tells me what it's like. I'm like, I don't want to look at someone having a more. Some are pretty. I don't want to listen to someone having a more fucked up high school experience than me, like an actual traumatic one. I'm like, okay, I don't really want to watch that. I also don't want to watch people have a significantly cooler high school experience than I did, dude.
Yeah. Of
you know what drugs I did in high school? None. None. I didn't.
Not a one?
I don't even think, when I was in high school, I don't think I drank until I was, until like the summer after high school, dude. I didn't even, it wasn't even like I was just not interested. It was like, no, I would have been down. I just didn't have access.
You just weren't cool.
I didn't get invited to the right places, but I was down. It took until it's the same. Actually, you know what? Do you mind if we derail for one quick second? It's tangential, but for the first time, I would always say like, dude, I've never been offered cocaine, right? So everyone talks to, I do coke. I get offered coke all the time. It's usually like chicks with tits, right? So. But I'm like, I've never been offered cocaine. I was like, dude, I'm down. Like, I'm ready to party, dude. I am ready to have that experience.
Somebody please derail my life.
People always be like, I remember being in Cincinnati when we were at, one night at...
Let's not say where.
One night at this bar, everyone was like having a crazy good time. And then I was like, it was a lot of fun last night. And then someone said, everyone was so coked up. And I was like, what? And like, dude, everyone was coked up. And I was like, well, I wasn't coked up. Everyone's like, but you Christian. I'm like, I'm not Christian. Give me some cocaine. Like, nobody offered it to me. Nobody.
Hey, I remember those days. And you were Christian then. So why the fuck would anyone offer some narc like you coke? I get that.
Yeah, okay.
Listen.
I was maybe some sort of like, people thought I was, I was down I was down for some yayo, dude, and nobody. But I recently
Listen, you didn't want what was good handed out there, bro. You didn't want that fucking goddamn, suburban tranquilizer. Fuck that, dude. You didn't not want that.
Well, okay, I will say, but I was offered cocaine for the first time in my life a couple of weeks ago, and I turned it down. I didn't do it. I bitched out, dude. It was this thing where I'd always made this joke that was like, no one has ever offered me cocaine. No one's ever had a plug that could get me any. And then all of a sudden, right in front of me, guy that I know is like, hey man, did you want some of this? And I was like, no, I didn't. I wasn't ready, dude. I wasn't ready, and I didn't do it. I was like, oh, dude, I can't say in good conscience that I am down to party, because I had the opportunity and also a very comfortable environment to do it in, and I thumbs down, dude. I didn't do it.
Listen, the rest. Now we'll know how the rest of your life will turn out. You could have skyrocketed into like cool, developer guy status, like doing coke, like doing codes.
Oh, yeah.
Making some kind of weird shit, making some fucking website that helps you track down, like, what people wore in, Blade Runner or something like that. I don't know, whatever your fucking app is. Yeah. Just doing coke constantly, blasting through code, have some, like, little Chinese kid next to you, typing next to you, too. Like, get him some coke.
Well, I have taken Adderall, and the Chinese kid shows up quick.
Yeah. That's
it's weird because you just figure out where to find him. He makes himself present when he's like, this guy. You see him when he needs an intern.
You see him when he needs to be seen. You know what I'm saying?
He needs this Blade Runner fashion app. We've derailed, dude. We've gone off the rails.
We can't.
I have my. What? Do you want my one more guilty pleasure?
What's that?
Okay, because we got to stay on it. My other one is, and this is what I'm really passionate about. I like Macklemore, and this is the one I get the most guff for, because I think he's good. I like his music. I think it's fun, and it's not even like, oh, it's a guilty pleasure. I'm like, dude, Macklemore speaks to me. Like, I've seen him live.
Well, here's the thing. I'm being honest with you right now. I could not tell you one Macklemore song. I couldn't spot it out on the radio if someone played. I couldn't. But it's one of those things, to help make your point, as a guilty pleasure. It's one of those things where, like, while I have not heard the music and I don't know the message, I've seen the fan base.
Yeah.
I've seen it a lot, and it doesn't speak volumes about the art.
Well,
now,
buddy, as a guy,
dude, like, listen, people who say that Nirvana is their favorite band are the most insufferable people you'll ever encounter. So I don't know, like, where the truth lies,
Yeah, well, as a guy that went to a Macklemore show and saw his clientele, gonna be real, man, I felt out of place.
You felt weird?
I did, sure did, but
Why? Why'd you feel weird?
Because it was a lot of children with their parents. I don't know.
That's how I felt at Post Malone.
What?
That's how I felt when I saw Post Malone.
When did you see? Oh, you saw him at a festival.
I saw him at Bunbury in Cincinnati like 2-3 years ago, and it was like kids. It was weird.
That is weird.
It was like, it was. You know what it felt like? It was like, people like to talk about how, like, the Beatles were, like, just literally, like, teenage girls just, like, going insane,
like fainting.
Literally children were, like, their fans, and that just never really goes away. Like, kids got to be fans of something. It doesn't matter what year. It could be 1962. It could be 2017. Turned out, in our case, it ended up being this, like, white trash hybrid with some, like, auto-tune effect on his voice.
Yeah.
Crushing Bud Lights on stage like he's Stone Cold Steve Austin, singing about getting his heart broke by some chick who worked at a gas station. So I don't, listen, dude, art's art, bro. You can't put that in a box. I get it.
Well, that's the funny thing, because it's like, okay, the artists... Ooh. You know what, buddy? I just came up with our last segment.
Yeah, what's that?
Okay, what are the bands that you were what are the bands that you were into that blew up, and then when they blew up, you kind of, like, you were the hipster, I was here first, I liked them first, And then they got big, and then you just like you fell off because of the clientele, and you lost the intimacy that you had and the fanship you had because all of a sudden everyone was listening to it, and you didn't have that connection anymore. Because I have a lot,
dude. I don't know. I don't know if I haven't. I don't have any that are like literally. I don't have a scenario where I saw a band and then they were like fucking on. I don't even know what the barometer is anymore. I was gonna say MTV, and then I sound like I'm 37. So like
yeah.
But like the point, you know what? Here's an answer for you. The best answer I can probably give is Rise Against.
Yeah. Okay.
The first concert I ever went to was Rise Against. It was like 2006, and it fucking ruled, dude.
I've seen
them. It was a great time. Great. I saw them. Listen, and here's the thing. There's going to be people out there who are like, I saw Rise Against when they were, a vegan, straight edge, ska-core band. Like, okay, we get that. But, like, I saw them right as, like, they had, like, it was the tour for their very first album that was, like, kind of getting some traction.
Okay, yeah.
But I had been listening since like I'll get
like the Angels.
Since like Revolutions per minute. Yeah, Revolutions per minute, right? I had been listening since then. They were a Fat Wreck band. I was into it. They were my first concert. And then now I think they are the official band of NASCAR. So I don't like that's I did drop off.
Yeah.
I saw it. I never believed in the term like selling out. I think we talked about this before.
We have, but
I never believed in the term selling out.
It.
And then it was when I saw Rise Against on like the literally the NASCAR EA Sports game.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you rethink some things. But goddamn, if they're not a great band, I don't know what they've been doing lately. But that's my answer.
Well, that's the crazy. It's interesting to listen how the music industry works too. Okay, because. It's the same thing, and it happens to every musical artist, right? You get a little bit of traction, and then a record company looks at you and says, we know how to market you. You want $10 million?
Yeah.
So
yeah, we can do this.
Mine is Fall Out Boy, okay? So they were...
That's a big swing. That's a big swing, buddy. How far back are you gonna go?
I go really far back, okay? So I go to, and this is gonna sound like I'm not too much of an OG, but I go back to Take This to Your Grave. And I've told the story, but I was in a Hot Topic, and I got like coerced into listening to a Fall Out Boy CD and a Tiger Army CD in the back of in the back of a
talk
Hot
about
Topic.
A band, Tiger Army, dude. These motherfuckers got out there with a goddamn stand-up bass like they were about to blow the tits off everybody. God, what a man!
So I wasn't feeling the Tiger Army. I was like, all right, whatever, man.
Jesus Christ!
And in the back of a Hot Topic, you feel cornered, dude. You feel Louis C.K. back there, man. You feel a little bit in a corner,
seriously. Most respect to the women of Hot Topic. The women who go into Hot Topic, I could not respect that more because it is such a hostile environment.
Well,
God damn it.
It's like a
respect to those literally the first ladies of our new generation who withstood the horrific encounters of a Hot Topic. But continue.
Yeah, to get your cute nose ring, man.
To get your
But anyway, so I'm listening. I listen to it and I'm like, I listened to this album and I'm just thinking, this is my favorite music, right? And then from then, and he tells me they're on a small record label called Fueled by Ramen, all right? And then he told me, he's like, yeah, they're on this label, but they just signed to Island Records, right? And I didn't know what that meant, all right? So I became a huge fan, all right? I loved them. And then all of a sudden, From Under the Cork Tree came out, which is like, it was on Island Records, and it was everywhere.
Yeah.
All right?
That's all it was.
I stayed in love. I did stay in love with them until they became the official, like, that song. And I've told the story a bunch, but that, like, Light 'Em Up song, well, like, I was like, I respect them. They put out enough good music to the point where I was like, you gave me enough, guys. I'm happy. Sell the fuck out and do stadium rock.
Yeah, you were down with it.
Stadium Rock
Fuck yeah, dude.
bullshit.
Get that
dude.
money.
I was like,
Get that money.
At that point, I was like, guys, it's been real. Secure your bag and move on with your lives, man.
Oh man, now that you say that, I definitely have another answer to this, which also goes into guilty pleasure. And again, listen, I can't go as far back as like a lot of people, but I think the biggest jump for me, like as a kid, was when Green Day put out American Idiot.
Yes.
Because that was truly like the first time I'd ever seen that. Because like, listen, I was into Green Day as in like the basic, like, you know, Warning and fucking
Nimrod.
you know, Dookie. Yeah, and so like I was super into like Dookie at the time, and then they put out American Idiot, and then it like blew the fuck up because it's this now links into the guilty pleasure segment because it's a fucking fantastic album.
Okay.
Like front to back, very
American
objectively good.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. And anyone who says otherwise is a fucking dork. So listen, be honest with yourself. Dude, when they hit, it was so crazy. It was like girls in like 8th grade who had, I don't even know, like just didn't even like, you know what it was? There was people who didn't even like care about like music or ever like talk about it, which like, so what, you know? They played sports and they were like, you know, flirting with each other. I was like the weird kid who was, you know.
No, I know.
Going to Hot Topic like a loser. I could have been cool if I just didn't give a shit about music or anything.
Yeah.
But I just, anyway, so like when that shit hit, I remember being like, what? I felt like slighted. I was like, wait, all of a sudden, like, now this shit is getting co-opted.
Yeah.
It's like me and my friends, you know. There was like a select group of like kids who were like punk, like into
this
punk,
is our
you know what I mean? In like the vaguest term. Yeah, it's like every fucking other school in America.
Yeah.
Like every school has the exact same storyline. There's like the small faction of, you know, kids who were like into punk rock, and there's like a faction of kids who were into like wrestling, and then there's like, you know, your mainstream Taylors and, you know, Jonathans, you know, they go do their own thing. But I remember when like the album hit, like everyone was listening to it, like every popular girl, like every popular dude too was starting to listen to that, and they were like, then you start seeing like chokers on like random chicks who were like Rays of Sunshine before, now all of a sudden they're like Queen of Darkness, like what
culture appropriation, dude. Culture.
Yeah, dude. I mean, listen, whatever, dude. That's the level. That's how shut off like white Catholic schools are. So they start appropriating other white cultures. Like that's all they know is they can't even branch out of their own race to like steal an identity. You know? So it's like all of a sudden it's these chicks who were just like into Christian rock, and then all of a sudden they just like painting their nails black, and they're like, I think about killing myself. You're like, what? We're like 7th grade. Like, come on, man. Like, listen, we know American Idiot's good, but like, wait, you know what it was? It was when September Ends, when that song came, because American Idiot, the first song was still like a ripper a little bit. Like, you know, it was fucking mall rock, but like, it was still a ripper, that song. Yeah. But then they put out Wake Me Up When September Ends. And dude, you know, every goddamn dance was playing that song. Towards the end, people were slow dancing, and then I was like, it's been co-opted. Dude.
Well, I mean, you got,
And then my dumbass brain is like, oh, I'm gonna take it a step further and get into Slipknot, dude. Like, wrong move. Be cool. Go with the wave. That's my advice to children. Don't do your own thing. Well, be like everyone else and succeed.
No, listen to Slipknot, dude. When everyone starts turning, you gotta zag right into Slipknot, man. You gotta become a maggot, and that's your destiny, dude. I just
get a fucking Hatchet Man hockey jersey and light that shit up, dude.
Yeah,
get in there.
Because you lose the. Well, I think what it is, because I'm about to hit 28 and my battery's almost dead. You lose the intimacy. You lose the intimacy with the artist. And I think that's really it. Because you really have this, like, these people understand me. And when you feel like everyone knows about this thing, you feel like, oh, this was my, like, you associated yourself so much with it. Now that's such a broad appeal. You feel like you've lost yourself.
That's it. And you like, that's when you cry that final tear into a Hatchet Man 6XL hockey jersey as your makeup runs down your double chin, and you cry and you hope your dad doesn't come in. He doesn't. You put those etnies on, you get out on the front porch of your fucking trailer park, and you live to fight another day, dude.